Hey guys, how's everyone doing? Doing all right. I wanted to jump on live. I guess not live, but jump on today and do a video. I'm gonna try and do one once a week. Don't hold me to it yet, but that's kind of the consistent flow that I want to do it versus doing a few a week or, I haven't done one on YouTube for a while, but the intention is to do about one a week. Maybe I'll do it on the same day of every week. And today I want to focus on, this came to me earlier, this idea of feeling like you're in the wrong place right now and making whatever is in your life right now wrong. Whether that's your job or relationships that you're in or the state of your body or the amount of money that you have or don't have, or the people that you're currently surrounded with, or your current living situation, or the current city that you're in, or any of it. And how life can be much more enjoyable, even in the painful moments, even in the contraction moments, when we don't make it wrong anymore. And it's very difficult to do. I mean, it's really not, but we've made it the way we've been programmed. It's very difficult to let go of that program, which is what it is, because we've been conditioned to believe that that our life needs to be right. It needs to look a certain way. If we don't have the job that people approve of, if we don't have a certain amount of money in our bank account, if we don't have certain relationships, if we're not living in a certain area, then we're doing something wrong. Then we shouldn't feel happiness. If we feel happiness, then something's wrong with us, because based on our external, we shouldn't be feeling that way. Which is totally backwards. But just playing with this idea of not making where we're at wrong. Things in your life, especially last year, but even more so this year, are returning into your awareness, into your reality, that perhaps you thought were gone, that perhaps you thought were dealt with. Especially all of the stress and isolation that started last year. Coping mechanisms that you thought you didn't have to rely on anymore, whether it be food, shopping, addictions, porn, sex, over busyness, you name it, drugs, alcohol, weed, anything that allows you to bypass what you're feeling in the current moment. A lot of those things came back online for many of us, and the gift in not making wrong what's happening right now in your life is these things coming back, which feel wrong, but what they're really doing, they're giving you a second chance to respond differently this time. So because of what's happening on a global scale and a national scale with restrictions and lockdowns and a more powerless society, is just a expression, just a reflection of the power that we've been giving away as a collective humanity for many, many years. And this is just the climactic manifestation of that internal world of all of us giving our power away, and now it's in the external. So in order for the external to change, we get to change it internally, and we get to see that we've actually been giving our power away in many areas of our lives. And now that these things are coming back, that again are imposing powerlessness on us, or just treating us in ways that we know are under our level of worthiness. So again, whether that's an employer, a relationship that you have, the reflection of not a lot of money in an account, health, disease, you know you're worthy of health and vitality and feeling good and being in tune with that young, healthy self. No matter what it is, things are coming back, they're recycling back into our lives to allow us to respond differently. And to give you an example of that, perhaps you have a relationship come back into your life that you thought was done, and they're treating you a certain way. They're treating you like they treated you years ago or months ago, but you've grown and you no longer tolerate that kind of treatment. Now, this is not to say to not have compassion for them, quite the opposite. It's to have compassion for them, but it's to act now in a new way, in the way that you know that you're worthy of being fucking treated. And again, whether that's a relationship or an employer or anything that's coming up in your life, whether it's dis-ease, now that perhaps dis-ease is coming up in your life, or stress is coming up in your life, it's no longer about bypassing the stress and, you know, going to McDonald's every single night to deal with that stress, or about just drinking 5 cups of coffee and continuing bulldozing the part of you that needs rest. Now it's about responding differently. It's about giving yourself the rest instead of the 5 coffees. It's about giving yourself, you know, a healthier meal, or maybe you go and you fast for a day or a night, and be kind to your body that way, as it is, as it's healing, as it's detoxifying, instead of choosing the in the moment short-term satisfaction of, you know, of fast food on a nightly basis, on a weekly basis even. So we're given this opportunity again to act differently, whether it comes with health, whether it comes around relationships, whether it's around our abundance, finances, whether it's around how we express ourselves. A lot of us from 2010 around to 2020 have been suppressing who we actually are. And we actually, especially starting, I mean, since the beginning of our lives, but you know, especially 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, a lot of us were setting up the contrast that we're eventually coming back to heal in this decade. What I mean by that is a lot of us took on the belief and the self-hate, limiting belief that we didn't deserve happiness in ourselves, that we had to be someone else in order to earn love, in order to earn an income, in order to earn our joy, which is actually our inherent birthright and not something that you have to earn. It just is in your natural state. So a lot of us, when I say contrast, set up contrast, we set up the shit in our life to go wrong, whether that's, again, suppressing our gifts and stepping into a career that actually wasn't for us, or getting into debt, or getting into relationships that were super toxic or super codependent or super enmeshed, where you had no sense of boundaries for yourself, or getting into certain kinds of diseases, or, you know, seeing your body break down in certain ways. All of this, a lot of it was, again, created in 2010 to 2020. And if you're watching this video now, there's a good chance that you're on the path towards making all of that right, towards seeing the gift in all of that contrast that you created for yourself, and moving towards a space of seeing that you never needed any of it in the first place, seeing that you were whole and complete this whole fucking time, and seeing that you actually get to create a life for yourself that is not based in lack, but it's based in abundance, that's not based in fear, but it's based in love, and truly unconditional love, and not people pleasing like many of us have partaken in, the, you know, for most of our lives. So everything coming up now in February and the rest of 2021 in this decade is going to be allowing you to clear the shit, the energy, this stagnant energy that's still in your body, that's a match to experiences that you no longer deserve, that you no longer that are below you. And again, not that people are better or worse, but just energetically, a lot of us are stepping into this time, this year, to reclaim what we know we're worthy of receiving. Because for far too long, many of us have received less than we're actually worthy of receiving. And now when things come up in our lives that seem like they're bad or wrong, or that we're making them, we're adding meaning to it to make it seem like life is going wrong for us, instead, can we look at those things and say, oh, I'm no longer going to fall for this. I'm no longer going to fall for this employer treating me this way, thinking I need to stay in this job to feed myself. There must be other options. I'm no longer going to fall for the people in my life that make it seem that I am in servitude to them for the rest of my life. I owe no one anything. The only person that I owe anything is myself, and my growth and my expansion. And anyone who comes into my path, I get to love on unconditionally, from no sacrifice, no strings attached, but from the joy of giving that person something. I no longer fall for the idea that suppression will lead me to fulfillment, that I get to be expressive and be myself and not have to hide certain aspects of myself in order to, book a job or be liked or any of that nonsense. You no longer fall for the idea that you have to give your power of health away to someone else, the doctor who probably doesn't know the energetics of the human body and how spirituality and emotions have a direct impact on physical health. You no longer have to bypass through Tylenol or Motrin or heavy, dense food every night. You get to feel your emotions. You get to no longer be a victim to your health, to your body. You no longer have to fall for that illusion that many people in the world are operating under, that illusion right now. You no longer have to make your life as it is, exactly as it is right now, wrong. And that is my message for today. Thank you, guys. I'm going to do other videos besides spirituality. I mean, I love doing spirituality videos, but it's just kind of where the energy is at right now in terms of where my life is at. I want to definitely do more artistic stuff as well, but yeah, that's where the energy is at right now. But thank you guys for tuning in. I plan on seeing you next week and doing another video next week. And yeah, guys, take care. Have a wonderful day and see you soon.